Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is March 20th, 2020. Interesting time to be alive, interesting time in the markets. It's a good time to make a video. First, a little something I'll point out. Many of you have followed me for years. You know that I keep telling the same story over and over again. So, I have a banner on the back of my Twitter profile. I get asked often, like, what's the point of this? And it's been years that I've had it there. And recently, Balaji got the point. He said, it reminds me a bit of the early 1900s. In 1910, you still had these nine royals meeting. The world of princes was still around and seemingly immortal. And he got the point that the vast majority of them got knocked off within 10 years. Why? Because things that seem permanent and stable, they change quickly. And it's something that people don't want to admit, but then after the fact, they say, oh, well, that was obvious. When I was still the CEO of Ethereum many years ago in a past life, I tried to get a Credit Suisse account when we were in Switzerland because, it's 2014 and the Credit Suisse people said, oh, well, it's too dangerous with crypto. We couldn't possibly consider it would be so unstable and so terrible. And we have a reputation to protect. We're here for the long term. We've been here for over 150 years, and we couldn't embrace this crypto thing. And lo and behold, who's buying Credit Suisse? UBS, only if the Swiss government bails them out. You see, the banking system in general is falling apart. And it's falling apart predictably so because it's always been a Ponzi scheme. You have this business where you take other people's money and then you use that to multiply and create money out of thin air, give it to people all around the world, and then you make windfall profits from it until people get a little shaky, in which case you socialize your losses and give those losses to society. And this is what's happened for years in the banking industry. We've witnessed the US dollar lose more than 95% of its value over the last 100 years. We've witnessed the last 3 years alone, the supply of money in the United States double. We've witnessed so much evil, just reprehensible behavior by the banking industry. The escape valve has been cryptocurrencies. It gives us the ability to go into the digital space and take money to the next level, put people back in charge, embrace full reserve, all this type of stuff. And you know what's happened? The governments are coming in saying crypto caused this problem, not the trillions of dollars of money printing, not the fractional reserve banking system, but crypto caused this problem, not the rampant corruption, not the nepotism, not the U.S. warfare culture that we've had, 9 countries over the last 23 years, $15 trillion in wars. None of that has anything to do with it. Not shutting down the entire world for COVID. No, none of that has anything to do with all of this stuff. No, not at all. It's obviously the market that's less than $1 trillion, crypto. That's what caused all these problems. So go look at Bank of America's unrealized losses. It's $113 billion. Look at JP Morgan Chase. It's around 40 or so billion dollars. Go down the list of your bank. Google your bank unrealized losses. Take a look where that sits. And you realize how quickly a bank run can occur. You realize how quickly things can change just like that. And the powers that be, they try to look for a scapegoat and blame that and say, well, this person's responsible. We're not. We're the solution. We've been cleaning up the mess and trying to get rid of the contagion that is fractional reserve banking. It's just that simple. You cannot base a system on a lie, on a fantasy, and then expect that system to be stable. Every time they fail, you and me and everyone else in the United States and the world has to pay for it. And every time they succeed on our backs, they get the money. And then they use that financial power to buy up media and to buy up politicians to convince you that somehow they're virtuous and moral. They never have been, they never will be, and now is the time for people to really start having that message break through. We're going to live in a world where these banks don't exist in this format anymore because you know what? The solution to this upcoming banking crisis that's happening is too big to fail plus plus plus. The same group of people, ironically the same, Janet Yellen and these others, who told us that 2008 will never happen again, we fixed the problem, are going to lead us to a series of bank bailouts and consolidation and backroom deals that are going to make these too big to fail banks 5 times bigger. We're running out of money to socialize these losses. We don't have it anymore. Just look at the debt. Our national debt, United States, it's over $30 trillion. What happens when that goes to 10%, which it's heading towards? That's more money than we spend on our military times 3, the biggest, most powerful military in the world, just to service the interest rate on the debt. How can we afford that? We can't. There's a liquidity crisis with the dollar right now. The rest of the world, they're trying to get off of it because they don't want to be on this sinking ship. They don't want to endure this. And what is the politician's solution? To come and say crypto is responsible. So let me get this straight. The people who push for full reserve banking are responsible. The people who push for auditability and transparency and immutability are responsible. The people that push for decentralization, resilience by design, open source, community ownership instead of ownership by the few are responsible. The people who push for you being your own bank and owning your own money and having control over your own assets, not some bureaucrat or banker, are responsible. Not the people that can start unlimited wars, print unlimited money, shut down the government arbitrarily whenever they want to, and then give your money to their friends. I'm sorry. We're too far gone. We know too much. The internet's out now. We can talk to each other. We can communicate with each other. And the reality is that this fractional reserve banking system is on its last leg. It's not going to last. It will not survive another 20, 30, 40 years. It's not stable. We have to take back our money. I tell you what scares the government. Got these T-bills, 3-month expiry. The U.S. government's behind it. What happens when we can make those security tokens and businesses can just buy those and use those as their bank accounts? And markets are sufficiently liquid that they can instantly convert and make payments with them. How will the U.S. government argue that that's not safe? That their own debt is not safe? You have full custody and full control over it, and you can settle all your business accounting with it. You do payroll with it. Why would I, as a business, want to put my money in a bank that the FDIC only insures $250,000 and hope to God that I don't lose my deposits, that pays 0% interest or 0.1%, when I can go buy T-bills and treat them like a bank account and be able to pay people in that? And that's what security tokens give you. That's coming. The fuck are they going to do? How are they going to survive? They can't. And imagine how many trillions of dollars will leave the banking system, exacerbating the unrealized losses these guys have. So how do you get out of it? Yeah, print more money. And 30 trillion turns to 50. And the purchasing power of the dollar? Oh, who cares about that? What about all the people that saved their whole lives, like my grandfather did on my mom's side? Dean Witter. His wife worked at Sears, and they had a little investment shop there. Went in and said, I want to invest 20% of every paycheck, even though he raised 7 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls. He found a way to set aside 20% of every paycheck on a lineman's salary and retire a millionaire. That whole retirement's gone. Why? Because every 5 years, it loses half of its value under the current monetary policy that we have. And then it'll be every 3, then every 1. Everybody's savings will go to hell. So how do we solve it? Print more money, more Social Security, more this, more that with money we don't have. Tax the rich, great. That'll solve it. Take 100% of all their money. Still won't pay for this. It's lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. And now we witness real time the contagion of the system spreading. SVB to Signature to Credit Suisse, and it's going to continue. The antidote has been and always will be honest money. And the digital gold of the day is the cryptocurrency standard. right here, right now, our industry is proving its worth and proving its worth more than all other industries combined. It's giving you your identity back, your data back, your money back, your payment system back, your banking back, your voice back. And damn every politician who tries to take it from you and tell you for either national security or for law enforcement or for whatever the hell the reason is that we have to give away crypto. Because the alternative is a monetary collapse, followed by another Great Depression, followed by total government control over every aspect of your life, every dimension of your life. But don't worry, they'll give you a CBDC. It looks like a crypto, feels like a crypto, except for the fact that they can shut it off anytime they want. Except for the fact if your politics aren't the right politics, you kind of get deplatformed. Remember when you were posting stuff on Facebook that Facebook didn't like and they suspended your account? Oh, wait, the next generation of this shit is coming. Where when you post stuff that people don't like, when you get deplatformed, your money turns off too. How about that? That's America now. Did you sign up for that? I didn't. No one did. That's not liberty. That's not freedom. That's totalitarianism. That's dictatorship. And I, for one, I'm done with it. I really am. I'm done with it. You're done with it. We're all done with it. The world's done with it. These people have lied, cheated, and stole for way too long. And you know what? They're not going to stop until they're held accountable. And how you hold them accountable is you opt out. You don't vote because the vote doesn't do anything. You don't write a letter to the media that's owned and controlled by the people that are doing this because they don't listen. They don't watch anymore. They're corrupt as hell. You opt out, and the opt-out is crypto, our industry. For better or for worse. Are we perfect? Lord, no. Are we filled with scams and problems? Sure, every human endeavor is. But you know what? It's honest work because we're having to lift up the entire world economy and figure out how to rebuild the damn thing from the ground up without any help. All those domain experts who should be here and help us, they piss all over us, the Krugmans of the world, and tell us how stupid and evil and misguided we are, and how next year it'll all come to an end. The Rubinis and these other people who are swamp creatures. Meanwhile, our noses to the grindstone, we keep building day by day, and there ain't no contagion here because we've been through every collapse. 90% of the value down? Who the fuck cares? We'll be back. And we are. Oh, that DApp didn't work, got hacked. Oh, well, time to build another one. You know why? Because we can, and we will, and we have. We are now 14 years into this cryptocurrency experiment, and we've gone from nothing to a global movement that really has a chance at liberating the world from the banksters who took it over a long time ago. That is something worth being in. And I'm pretty inspired by each and every one of you who believes in this, and each and every one of you who thinks this is the path forward, way out of this. It's going to be rocky. Name brands that you know and love, they're not going to do so well. Things are going to change. They have to change because they can't stay the same. We've learned that. And it's about time that we return to first principles, and it's about time we return to integrity. It's about time we return to transparency. It's about time we return to equal systems for everybody, not multiple classes, and everybody gets to enjoy the fruits of their particular class or the hells of them. Instead, we return to one system for everybody because that is the way it ought to be. And when we look to the next 3 years, next 5 years, next 10 years, here's what's going to happen. All those DeFi protocols, they're going to go through at least 4 or 5 major upgrades and be able to scale and handle transactions with billions of people. The next 3 to 5 years, the whole notion of identity, because of DIDs and all the surrounding infrastructure, will be able to be a universal identifier that gives you your data and privacy back. It's called self-sovereign identity. The next 3 to 5 years, wallet solutions will give you the ability to be your own bank, and the securitization of things like treasury bills and other such things are going to get rid of commercial banking. And markets are going to completely replace payments, change all of it. It's coming. It's happening so fast. We're there. The tech is there. It's all being implemented now on Cardano, on Algorand, on Ethereum. You can taste it. The revolution is here. And if the U.S. bans it, hard or soft, choke point or through legislation. It's going to go to the Middle East, India, China. It's going to go to Africa, the Latin American markets, and it'll work its way back in. Because as the U.S. is in a massive depression, over-reliant on its nepotistic, corrupt banking system, the rest of the world will be making money, be safe and secure, insulated from the contagion, and they'll be able to outcompete. If the U.S. embraces it, all the faster we'll see the banking system collapse and a better one come, because it has to come. I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of them laundering the money of Putin and money launderers, drug cartels, terrorists. I'm tired of them trading against us and laughing about it in emails. I'm tired of them playing a rigged game where they make money and we have to get the bill. Every time, 10 times out of 10 times. It's a rigged system. And every fucking election cycle, some politician comes in and say they're going to fix it. They're going to pass some law. Glass-Steagall or Sarbanes-Oxley, or they're going to pass the new thing, Dodd-Frank. And that will solve it. That will stop these guys from ever doing it again. Who wrote it? The guys who run the show. The guys who run the banks. Sorry. It's not going to change. It never will change because they think you're stupid. And as long as they're able to put their hand in your pocket with no accountability, it's the way it is. Crypto is the answer. So keep the faith, keep the fire in your belly, keep pushing forward. And like the picture that Balaji and I posted, things change pretty quickly. Every single person in that picture in 1910 thought that they were pretty special, pretty powerful, and that they were part of eternal institutions. By 1920, almost all of them were either dethroned or depowered, and they no longer had that divine right of kings behind them. And all these banksters right now, they think they're big, and they think they're strong, and they say, we'll get you out of this. Don't worry. Well, you know what's going to happen? 5 or 10 years, the next economic collapse, they'll be begging you for a loan, as it should be. And then once we have our freedom back and our power back, we can live a better life. All of us, everyone in the world, not just those who happen to be born in the right countries, but everybody in the world can live a better life, because that's the most fundamental thing. Your freedom of association, commerce, and expression, and your ability to own your own destiny. That's the whole reason crypto exists. That's why it continues to exist. And that's why each and every one of us build. Thanks for listening, everyone.